Good morning, guys. It's January 8th, 2021. Super excited to be in 2021. Looking forward to a great year. We're continuing Sewcialites. This block today is so easy, and I have lots of tips for you on working with stripes. And I'm also going to, at the end, show you some other tips on cutting your fabric and getting it into your stash. And then after that, I'm going to talk about different sew-alongs that I'm doing with you throughout 2021. If you're interested in seeing all of the sew-alongs that we have planned for 2021, watch Monday's video because I showed all of the quilts I finished in 2020 and all of the ones that we have planned for 2021. Now, obviously, we have more planned than that, but that's what we can show you. So let's get started. So today's block is called Serenity. It's designed by Chelsi Stratton. And this is a free series, and we have instructions that are free for a 9-inch block, 6-inch block, and 3-inch block. This is probably the easiest block in the entire series. And the reason why I picked a stripe today to work with is I like to use stripes when we have an easy block, and I'll show you why. I'm going to be using, in this block, I used this fabric, which is 20708-36. And at the end of this program, I'm going to sew this into a quilt and keep it. I'm going to sew these into a quilt and auction them off for Make-A-Wish. I want to give a huge thank you. We're at over $20,000. We had an anonymous donor who's not anonymous to me, but anonymous donor get us over that threshold. So I'm going to set these aside. And if you want to see any of the other blocks we've done, 1 through 13, they were all shown in 2020. Now, we had some of our staff make these blocks into different fabrics so that you can see that whether you use modern, traditional, anything, just to show you different looks. So this one is made by Teresa. It's 3 inches, and it uses the Zen Chic quotation fabric. This one was made by Deborah. She's using the Figs and Shirtings collection by Fig Tree, also 3 inches. For 6 inches, this is Folktale collection, sewn by Terry. And this one is sewn by Sue, and it's the Shine On collection. And then, this one right here is the 9-inch. It's made by Angel, and the collection is Cider by Basic Gray. So you can see, you can kind of do any color, anything here, and depending on if you're working on, with big pieces or smaller pieces, you can decide what type of scale you want to use. And we took a vote over Christmas holiday, and I had been demonstrating the 6-inch. So this is what I had been demonstrating. I have made 2 projects out of all the blocks so far because I'm doing kind of small projects in between. And the clear winner was 9 inches. So I'm going to demonstrate today a 9-inch block. I picked the Apricot and Ash collection to demonstrate today. And I am going to be using 2910713 and 2910621. So first I will get my pattern out. Again, this is designed by Chelsi Stratton. And she did a cute video this week on how to organize, if you have a small sewing room, how to organize your stash. So if you're looking for tips on that, you can check out her video. And she is on the Quilting Life YouTube channel. So on this, you can see that we have instructions for 3-inch, 6-inch, and 9-inch. I'm going to do the 9-inch. So I cover these up because if I don't, I 100% will start cutting the wrong block. And I did that over Christmas, so yeah, I know that I do it. So we're going to cut from the background 5 3.5-inch strips. So I'm going to start with the background. And what I'm going to do is just iron this a little bit, and then we'll cut. And I decided to use the Apricot and Ash collection because I love it so much and it really matches my house. So whatever I make with it, I know I can use in my house.
Do you need a longer ruler?
Mm-hmm. So on this one, I'm going to use a longer ruler so I have as little waste as possible. So I'm going to trim up the left edge. Now this does have, it's hard to see, but these are little plus signs and dots. So because of that, I will line up this with the dots so that it looks, you know, a little bit better. So I'm going to cut a 3.5 inch strip. And then we're going to see if we can get 5 from this. We'll see. And to make things easy, I'm going to do this little number. I'm just going to use a 3.5 inch square ruler and see how many we can get. And you'll see that we're cutting something very similar for the stripe, but I don't cut the stripe at the same time because when I cut striped fabric, I want to make sure that I cut it where it's straight. Oh my goodness, this might be magic if the first part of 2021 I get 5 across. Yay! So these are our A's. Let's see, so I'm going to put the little A on there. And I'm going to actually save this piece for next week because I'm going to be using this background for the blocks that I do that are 9 inches. So we're saving this one for next week, and you're going to see at the end I cut this up, and the reason why is I'm not saving it for next week, but I'm not going to cut this one up. So on this one, we need 4 3.5 inch squares. So I'm going to do the same thing. I'm going to iron. So 3.5 times 4 is 14. So I'm actually going to cut this way instead of this way so that I have less waste on the end, because that waste you can't really use. So I'm going to do the same thing. Line this up with one of the stripes, because I don't want it to look, I don't want the stripes to be crooked. And another thing is, when I'm doing stripes and working with stripes, I tend to find a block that is easy and doesn't have as many pieces so that all my stripes can go the same way. And I just need to find a ruler that I just lost already. Here it is. Okay, so we're going to cut 4 of these. And then I'll have enough left over to hopefully cut the 4 2-inch squares. Well, I don't think I will, but we'll have enough to do a few. So I'm going to do a 2-inch strip. Now this is 1.5. So I'm going to put this aside and we'll cut it down into something else in a second. So we're going to get 2 4-inch here, or 2 2-inch squares, sorry. And you can see I have no waste because I cut on that side. I'm going to cut 2 more 2-inch squares. And the way that I'm going to do it is I'm going to put it right here on the edge so that when I'm cutting, I have all of this left over for scrap, and I'll explain it. Now, normally when I'm working with something, I would not have this much scrap left over. The reason I'm going to do it today is I want to just show you what you would do, or what I would do with my leftovers, but I usually wouldn't have that much left over. So, there we go. And I have very little waste on my fabric. Now I'm going to lay everything out, and I'm going to show you a little trick on stripes. So, Lily, should I go up or sideways? I mean, it doesn't matter.
I think you should go sideways.
Okay, I'm going to go sideways. Lily wants to go sideways. Let's see. So I will place all of these sideways. And if you wanted to, this could be a stripe also. If you wanted to have like the center dark, I can actually show you what that would look like because we can save it. So this is, I'm going to cut a 3.5-inch strip from this, or 3.5-inch square from this, and show you what it will look like after. So from the corner, I'm just cutting a little piece right off the corner. And we're going to use it in my scrap bin anyway. So it's going to make perfect sense in a little bit. But I'm going to save it and show you what it would look like in a second. So my goal is to have as little left over as possible, especially with a really pretty fabric like this. Now, if you don't really like the fabric you're working with, I'll do whatever. Sometimes I'll work with something and I'll be like, oh, I do not like that. So I'm not going to be as resourceful with it. So we're going to put corner squares here, 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 and here. But when the corner squares are on, I want the stripes to all go the way Lily said, which is horizontal. So when you put this down, you don't put it down horizontal, you do the opposite. So you go vertical, vertical, vertical. And I actually do it this way because what's going to happen is when you turn it around, you're actually going to have 2 that go one way and 2 that go another. But what I will do is I'm going to put these on here. Then I'm going to draw the line. And then I'm going to stitch, and everything will go the right way. Because, you know, I have to be precise. But also, you can see that it's not too hard to work with the stripe in this block because there's not that many pieces. Now, if you had a block that had 10 half square triangles, I would not use that for a stripe because I wouldn't want to worry about the direction of the stripes. So I have intentionally picked an easy block to put my stripe in, which is what I always do. And I'm going to draw the lines with the friction pen. That's the pen that I prefer because it will disappear when I iron on it later. But you can use anything that you would like. You could even put washi tape on the bed of your machine to follow, which is actually what I do at home. But here, the bed is not large enough to do that. So I'm going to follow my line. And to be honest, I can eyeball it. But I don't like to eyeball it on camera because if I do that, I know I will do it wrong. So now we're going to just sew these on. I'm using this foot, which is, it's not technically an open toe foot. That's not technically what it's called, but that's what I call it for ease. And what I do is I stitch, and with that openness, I can see my line when I stitch. So I'm going to stitch directly on those 4 lines. And real quick, and then we're almost done. Cut these apart, and I'm going to trim a 1/4 inch away from my seam, and we're going to press open. So on these blocks are pretty big. They're not small, so I'm actually going to stack all 4 today. I'm feeling confident today. Cut this off. I use the 1/4 inch line on my Creative Grids ruler and trim. And I just save time. I don't always do that. It depends what kind of mood I'm in, I guess. On smaller pieces, I never do it. Like on the 3 inch that I did earlier, I would never do that. But since we're doing a bigger block, we can. So I'm gonna show you how we press open. I like to set my seam, which means just leave the iron on about 5 seconds. Oh, that iron said, I want to stick. That was weird. I'm going to press to one side. I usually leave the iron on about 5 seconds. Okay, now I'm going to press open. And I try to do this kind of like in a chain, like a choo-choo train, like, okay, something's on the iron. Yeah. Okay, we have a little iron problem. We have all kinds of stuff stuck to the iron. Yep. There's black all over the bottom of the iron.
Oh no.
Yeah. So, I'll show you. Right there.
Oh.
So to get that off, when it's cold, you get wax paper or parchment paper, and we'll just scrape it off. So now we're going to play with our little block. It's really nice to start off the year with an easy block, right? Now you're going to see, if you line these up this way, you're going to have 2 that go one way, 2 that are vertical, and 2 that are horizontal. For this to work, that's how it'll come out. But the reason I laid it out the way I did is I don't have to think about that. So here, this would be wrong because that would be the wrong way. So that one goes here instead. And this one goes here. So you just have to, because if you did this, you would have them going the other way. And that would look very cavefish, very modern. And then you could put that there. You could put that there. And then you would have stripes going all over the place. But let's go back to this. This is how you know you've sewn too many years, because you can tell what to do. So this would give you more of a sunshine or a sun, like a sun. And this will give you more of a circle. So we're going to do this because that's what the pattern is. That's what Chelsi designed. And I'm going to just put my fabrics right sides together, pin, and then we'll chain piece these together. And we will hope that my stripes go the same way. I'm going to change my foot to a 1/4 inch foot. Now, a lot of people have asked about a 1/4 inch foot for a Juki foot. So I went and bought one. If you want a 1/4 inch foot for the Juki, Primitive Gatherings sells it. So it's primitivegatherings.us is the URL. I bought one. So if that, I found a place, it's my friend Lisa Bonjean, but if you want a 1/4 inch foot, that's where you can get it. So I have figured, that's one thing I did figure out over Christmas. Okay, now I'm going to just stitch with the 1/4 inch. I'm stitching with like a 1.5 stitch, and the reason why is I'm pressing open. If I wasn't pressing open, I'd probably do like a 2.0 or 1.7 or something like that. But the reason I'm pressing open is because when you put this setting together, I didn't get all the way there. When you put this setting together, there's a lot of seams that nest. Now I'm going to show you a way to save time. Now usually I would iron here, but today, since we're working with a bigger block, to save time, I'm going to just pretend we ironed. I'm going to pretend we ironed. And when you pretend, you can just use this. Just to get it flat and out of your way. Cut my little pieces apart. Right sides together. And pin. So you will see that when I'm assembling these larger blocks, you're going to see me using different techniques than I did with the 6-inch block. So depending on how much room you have here, you don't have to iron. So now I'm going to stitch down here, and then we'll iron and do the last 2 seams.
Ooh.
So what I'm going to do now is do one side at a time. So I'm going to start here, press, start here, press those flat again. Then I'm going to press to one side, one side, one side, one side. It's just, I'm trying to keep everything kind of flat and then just go. Does that make sense, Lily? Mm-hmm. Okay, like kind of like, I don't know. And then I bet one of these lines up. I bet the rest don't, but I bet some of them do. So look, that almost lines up.
Oh my gosh.
That almost lines, I mean, it happens and it's fun.
Yeah.
Oh, look, that one lines up exactly. Well, right there.
Yeah, on that one.
But not there. Okay, so now I'm going to actually press these open. Do. And then I'm going to try this and see if it works. I'm going to try to put that there while I do the next one. And you can see, oh, right here, zoom in, Lily, please, pretty please. Now see that little lump?
Oh.
I could fix that, but on a 9-inch block, it's not going to be as noticeable as it would on a 6-inch. I don't think. And you know what? Today I'm just not going to fix it. So you can see some days I fix stuff. Some days I'm more OCD than others. Do whatever you want. Today I don't feel like fixing it. 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. And put that on there. keep this on here so I don't burn the mat down. Oh, and we tried, Lily and I tried, we tried this, but it's not working.
Oh no.
They keep coming off.
Falling off.
That's okay. We're trying to make it where the
Non-stick.
mat doesn't move when I'm using it because it's annoying, but we haven't figured it out yet. So now you can put this together and either leave this attached or not. I'm just going to leave it attached to make it easy. So here I will, that way I don't make a mistake when I put it the next side on and put it on the wrong side. So again, like, you know what I mean? Like if it's there, I can't accidentally put this here later. So again, just like my other blocks that I did last year, I will cut this so I can see. I'm going to line up all of my intersections first. So that would be there, there. And if you want more pins, you can. I feel like this is enough. But if I had a lot of stuff going on, like a lot more seams, I would pin more. But since there's really not a lot going on, I don't feel like I'm going to have to force it through. So I'm going to remove the pin right before I sew over it. The machine was catching. And then it looks pretty good. Now I see, now I don't have to mess it up. I just go like that. Do this last seam. This is going to be the easiest block of the whole thing. But it's going to be pretty. We already did the hardest, I think, so that is good. Now that we did the hardest, we can do the easiest. Bless you.
Thank you.
And then we have allergies over here in Texas right now. Okay. And I'm going to sew down this side. Okay. It looks good. So we're going to move the machine off. I'm going to push it to you, Lily, I think. Do you want me to push it that way?
Oh, this is good. Thank
Okay,
you.
perfect. And now I will do the final press. So I will do that same thing. One side first. Flat to one side, flat. And you can see that you can, when you're doing a bigger block, it goes by a little bit faster because you don't have to stop and iron every single time. And all my stripes go the same way, so I feel good. And we'll just press this open. Bless you. I do feel like when you're working with a bigger block like this, you don't have to use these clappers as much because there's so much fabric, it's willing to lie nicer. When you start having a million seams, that's when you really need the clapper. And I still don't have an update on when we're getting more. So if you want to make one, just use some maple wood. I see a lot of husbands have made them, so that's great. Okay, so there's that. I'm going to put the clapper on the other side. And then I'm going to trim my block down. So my block does look like this. I'm going to go ahead and put it back in my book so I don't lose it, because if I don't put it back now, I'll probably forget. And I can save that for next week. So next week we will be working on the Genuine block by Lori Holt. Yay! So I can go ahead and already do that. And this one uses a lot of corner squares, which is easy. So now what I will do is I'm gonna just trim this up. See the little, it'll just take these little threads off. You don't have to do this though. And this one shouldn't have too much come off because there's hardly any seams. So see, it just took off the thread. Like the little thread that from your machine, from when you're stitching, it just kind of gets it off. Now, I mean, think about it. In the end, who cares? Except me. Because I'm a little special. I think it's kind of just makes you feel good too. It's kind of like brushing your teeth. It's all clean, right? When you're done. So there is this block. I'm super excited. Apricot and Ash by Corey Yoder. And the background I'm using is 2910621. And this one has the little apricot. There's also a color just like this that has gray. And so I wasn't sure. And there's also one that's white on white or cream on cream. But I decided to go, it took me a while to decide, but I decided to go with the apricot. I know I'm saying that funny, but that's how I say it. Okay, so now I'm going to show you how to save the rest of this fabric. But first, I'm going to iron it. I'm going to put this block with my other blocks. First, I'm going to iron this. And just remember, I don't usually have this much left over because I do try to buy for my specific project. When I was done with this, I would probably use some of this leftover for my 2021 Swirly Stars quilt that I'm going to show you in a little bit. Then I would keep a little piece for the backing, and I would have a much smaller piece left over. 99.9999%, I don't have this much left over. But I'm going to show you. The reason I'm showing you is because I think y'all will kind of get the idea of what I'm doing. Now now I want to give 100% credit for this to Lori Holt. She's the one who taught me to do it. She tried to get me to do it like 9 years ago. And it took me 9 years, and now I'm doing it. And it's all because she bought me a label maker. I'm not kidding. That's all it took for me to do it, was to get a label maker. And I'm going to show you what I do. So this was 1.5 already. Remember that? That was 1.5. So exactly 1.5 inches. I'm going to turn this little piece into two 1.5 inch squares. It's going to all make sense in a minute. But remember, Lori did this, not me. So there's my 1.5. Here's my 3.5 that I cut as an example for the center to show you what you could do different with the center. Okay, here, now you can see it all. Okay, so I've got all my squares. This is literally what I do at home. I go for the biggest piece I can get. So 6.5, 5.5. I've already got a 3.5, so 4.5. So I can get all of this. But what I think I'm going to do is I think I'm going to do two 6.5 first. Because it's a lot of times my bucket, what you're going to see in a minute, the bucket that has the least amount is 6.5 because I hardly have that much left over. So I rarely get 6.5, so I'm going to cut 2. And on this, I just use my square rulers and line up the stripe. And I just cut them one by one. And then I use these when I need them for things like the Swirly Stars quilt. When you need an extra color. And at home I use a rotating mat. There's just not enough room here. So you can see, like, I'm not wasting anything. So now I'm gonna, since I got the 6.5, I've got 6.5, 3.5, 1.5. I'm gonna take the 6.5 ruler away, the 3.5 inch ruler away, and I'm gonna try to get these left. And it looks like I can actually get two 5.5s, which is my second least stacked bucket. So I'm gonna do two 5.5s first. And then I can still get this. So I'm always playing with the 5 rulers I have, the 6.5, 4.5, 3.5, 2.5, 6.5, 5.5, 4.5, 3.5, 2.5. I have 5 rulers that I use because these are the sizes I use.
Do you ever do 1.5?
I do. So these are 1.5, but I don't have a 1.5 inch ruler. So I just do them with any ruler. But yes, I do 1.5. Okay, now I'm going to do the 4.5 because I don't have a 4.5 yet. And when I'm doing this, I am lining up the line since it's a directional print. Okay, now I'm going to see what else I can get. So I can't get any more 4s or 5s, but I can probably get some 4s, some 3s. So I'm going to cut a 3.5 real quick. Basically, I just cut whatever I can from this. Now, like I said, I never get this many because I never leave this much fabric left over, ever. We'll do one more 3.5. And I kind of cut right here. So I can't use that because I cut into it because I'm not using my rotating mat. So I'm not trying to waste, but it's just the way I cut. This is the most efficient. Well, actually the cutting mat's the most efficient, but we don't have it. I just don't. It's also harder to use when I'm standing up. So I'll do another 3.5. And I'm going to do a 2.5. And you can see how I cut into that? So you can see I've used every piece of fabric. And it's somewhere in my sewing room. And one day I will use this into something. Might be this year, might be next year, might be in 10 years. Now remember, this is all Lori Holt. I didn't come up with any of this. So we're going to give her credit. I'm going to line these up by yes, I do this at home. And one of my children does this, actually. One of my children's job is to put all these squares in the buckets. He gets them out of the closet, puts them in the bucket, puts the bucket back. Because he's the best. Okay, Lily, can we take this away?
Yes.
Okay, because I might need room. So I'm going to show you towards the camera the way that I have them labeled, and I'm being completely serious in that I didn't do this until Lori got me a label maker, and I don't know what I was thinking all these years not having one.
You're the best.
Yeah. So I've been using it for all kinds of things I wouldn't think. Okay, so now front camera. So there you go. Those are my sizes. Is it this way? No, this way. Sorry. 1.5, 2.5, 3.5, 4.5, 5.5, 6.5. And then this is literally the leftover starched fabric I have. I don't have any other leftover starched fabric in my stash. And I keep big pieces in here. So these are leftover from Designer Mystery and Basket and Blooms. This is leftover from the little quilts mini stems. This is leftover from something I did. I think this might be the quilt on. This might be Shine On. Might be leftover from Shine On. And these are leftover from Designer Mystery. So I only leave big pieces in here, and I will. The first one that I can guarantee will be used up will be these backgrounds. Everything else in my stash is unstarched, and this is all that's starched, and I just put starched on here. Oops, front. There, starched. So now what I will do is start putting them in. And I just started the 1.5 inch buckets, so I don't have very many. But you're gonna see like the 3.5 and the 4.5 have the most. And I have all kinds of colors. So if I'm sewing and say I'm sewing a Lori Holt quilt and I need one corner square or something, I just pull it from here because not every quilt has to be the same collection.
Can you remind us where you got those bins?
Oh, Michael's. And we can link them. They changed names, I will tell you that. I bought these at Michael's, and they changed the company name. So they do still have them at certain Michael's, but they're not the same company. If I read you the company name from the bottom, it's not the same anymore.
Do you ever do any squares larger than 6.5?
I don't, because like this is as wide as that box will go. And so I could do a 7.5, but I mean, yeah. I don't. I just put them in the starch. I just cut them all up. And then if I have a big piece that's like 1/3 of a yard or bigger, it'll go in my starch section. And the reason that starch box is low, you're going to see later in the live stream, I've used up some of those big pieces and some of the stuff I'm going to show you. So let's see, 6. I can't. It's hard. It's backwards on the screen. So this is what we do in my house. They go in my cabinet just like this. And then this goes kind of on the side the way. And when I go in, I can see exactly what I'm looking for. And obviously, like if I need a 3-inch square, I just go to the 3.5-inch square box. But if I can't find that color, I can go to 4, 5, or 6 because I can trim it down. So when I was doing, the figs and the mini stems that I put next to my bed, remember that? And I used those tiny 1.5 by 2.5 inch rectangles. I didn't have enough. I pulled them from all these boxes. I needed like 5. I'll start at the smallest size. If I don't have that, I'll go to the next one, the next one, the next one. And I'm going to sit down now and we're going to take questions on all of that.
Woohoo!
Because that was a lot.
Quick comment from Kathy Cracker. She said, and the bins are on sale at Michael's right now. We've linked it below and in the chat.
Yay!
And they're on sale. So
Yay.
Now is the time to grab them. We did not do that on purpose. It was just a good day to show them.
And I have 8 of these. So when I bought them, I bought like 5. And then Lori said, you really should add a 1.5-inch square. Well, then that's how I found out that they're not the same company, because I couldn't find them online because the company changed. But I went to a Michael's, found them, and realized the company changed names. So that's how I know.
From Chris Peterson, do you starch all your fabric before cutting? I've never done that.
Yes, and we have tons of starch videos on our channel on how to do it. I learned that from Lisa Bonjean of Primitive Gatherings. In fact, right after this live stream, I have to go home and I have a stack of 40 fat quarters and I'm going to starch it all, and I can't wait. I love to starch. I am almost out of starch though.
From Lisa C, do you ever save strips, and is it more useful to have squares cut or strips?
So, Lori really wants me to cut strips and leave those. I haven't gotten that far. This is like taking me 9 years to get to. Lori saves strips 1.5, 2.5, 3.5. So you definitely can do that. And maybe next year in 2022, I will have buckets of strips. I just haven't gotten there yet. But yes, Lori would really like me to, so I probably will eventually.
From Diane Lyles, is that 1/4-inch foot more accurate than the one that comes with the Juki?
Okay, so I was incorrect on the Juki. On the 2010 Q, because I just bought a new one, it doesn't come with a 1/4-inch foot. It comes with the open toe foot. So I went ahead and bought one from Lisa Bonjean over Christmas. And then that's how I realized, oh, we have a quilt store that sells them. Because I never really knew where to get them or where to refer people to get them, because we don't sell them. And then I realized that she sold them, so that's great. Easy to find. Oh, and I forgot to show Chelsi's block. So we're going to pop that up. I'm so sorry, Chelsi. She made her block out of Balboa fabric, which is by Sherry and Chelsi. Sherry's the mom, Chelsi's the daughter. And hers, if you look, has a little tiny stripe in it. Can you see it?
A little bit, yeah.
So my OCD-ness would have been like fixing that stripe everywhere because that's how crazy I am.
Oh.
But yeah, I love her block. Cute.
Super cute. Lori said she saves 1.5, 2.5, 3.5, 5-inch, and 7-inch.
Oh, 5-inch and 7-inch. Ding.
That's awesome. And let's see. A few people were asking what your favorite starch is. What starch do you use?
Do we have it? Okay, so Ashley will link it because Ashley knows. Oh, so I was like, wait.
Sorry,
okay, so there used to be a different starch that I did like more than this. It was Faultless. Faultless sold to Niagara. So now it's Faultless Niagara. This one is Original Hold. They do not sell it in the grocery stores here except for Randall's. So if I'm desperate, I will go to Randall's. But Target around me doesn't have it. Walmart, H-E-B, the only place I can find this is Randall's. So I buy a lot of it on Amazon.com. The only thing that I don't like is it has this thing called Durafresh Scent Technology. I'm very, I don't like smells. So in my bathroom where I starch, I actually have an air purifier to get the smell out and all the dust from the starch out, and it goes all the time, except when I'm in there because it's loud and annoying. But yes, and I have tons of videos on how I starch.
From Diane Motley, please explain again when you iron open. Thanks.
Okay, so I press open if there's a lot of seams in a block, or if when you put the quilt together, a lot of seams are going to touch. So I'm going to show you. And so Ashley has linked this in the Amazon shop for wherever I buy it from. Let's see. If you go here, this is our coloring page. So, for example, when you put this block with this block, you have a lot of seams. And when you're sewing this block, you don't want to have to worry about which way you're going to press in this block so it touches this block. So because our setting is more of a sampler-esque and lots of blocks touching, we're pressing open. Now you could do a different setting that has sashing where you wouldn't need to press open. I just don't want all those seams. So that is why, because of our setting. And if I'm working with tiny, tiny blocks, for example, I'm going to be working on the American Gatherings free sew along that Lisa Bonjean has coming up. And those blocks are tiny. So I will be pressing all of that open. And that is going to start in February. And there's more information on that on our Monday video.
From Crafting a Planned Life, did Kimberly say what she is going to do with this block? Is she making another runner?
I haven't decided yet, but I think I'm going to do a square. I think I'm going to do something square for my bedroom. That's what I'm thinking. Haven't 100% planned it yet.
From Teresa, does Kimberly have any tips for fabric that's directional both ways, so a stripe that has directional elements in the stripe?
I would say cut your fabrics and then do what I did where you lay it out and see. Because remember how I turned like 2 horizontal, 1 vertical? That might look good with some fabrics. So I would say just playing with it on your design board before you sew it, you can visually see, and you can see how when I moved stuff and took stuff away, you can change any patterns designers. They don't care. They just want you to sew and have fun. So I'm always changing stuff. I mean, on this stuff, I have to stick to the instructions, but I change stuff whenever I feel like it. Like, you know, some days you might be like, oh, I'm going to change this whole thing. Because maybe your life is out of control, so you want to control things a little bit more and get super picky. Then it's going to make you feel like a better person because you've just controlled that fabric. Some days you're just totally chill, like, whatever. So, I mean, and that's just being totally honest. Like, I am different moods. So some days I'm like, Some days I'm like, I gotta go fast. Whatever kind of mood I'm in is kind of what I do that day. Unless it's work, I have to stick to the script.
Yeah, that's why quilting is therapy, because it helps you no matter what mood you're in.
Right. And if you have more time, you know, a lot of it is time, you know. Like tomorrow, I already know my day is a mess. So I'm not going to have a lot of time. So whatever I do tomorrow is going to have to be quicker than if I didn't have anywhere to go tomorrow. You know?
From Laura Ashcraft, how do you know your stripes will end up going all in the same direction? This is when you were cutting. How do you know they're going to
So when I was cutting, I just cut because they're squares. It didn't matter. Now, okay, let's go to the block and I'll show you. I'm going to actually draw. Do we have paper that I can use?
You have that little notebook next to you on your left.
Oh, okay. Let me try to find one that...
I think there's also an Erin Condren pad underneath it.
So this one. This one is a square. Okay. This one is a square, so you can cut it any way you want. And then what you would do is cut these two one direction and these two another direction. So you think about it before you cut and just cut each piece one at a time if you're working with a stripe. But some people don't care. Some people put their stripes any way they want. So you don't have to do the stripes the way I did them. But I just think through. And if it's a square like this one, it doesn't matter. But these are stripes. And I would know instinctively that these two would need to be different than these two. And then you can change this one. Since it's a square, you can turn it any way you would like. So I just think all that out before I cut.
And from Connect to Tech, I'm sorry Kimberly has something on the bottom of her iron, but as Bob Ross would say, that's a happy accident for us because now we know how to get that off our irons. That is a great tip.
Oh, yeah. Just make sure it's not hot.
Yes, make sure it cools down.
Yeah, and it'll just come right off. And we also sell a spray, but I've honestly never tried it. I've never needed it. It's a spray. They sell it like at Joann's. It's by Dritz. It's called like iron cleaner. But wax paper is just fine.
Yeah. A few other people in the chat also suggested a similar spray, I believe, from Faultless.
Oh, okay.
And about the stuff on the iron, Sasha Pup 0061 says, what makes it black? Why is the stuff on the iron black?
I don't know who used the iron, so Lily would have to know.
I don't know what happened because it hasn't been touched since literally our last live stream last year on Friday. Anytime there's something black on an iron, though, it's because it's burnt.
No, it's fusible. So there's some kind of fusible on there. Somebody must have been doing applique because it's definitely fusible. Like, when you applique, so there's some kind of something, it's something sticky on there. But, I mean,
The mystery of who used the applique.
It's the woo-woo. The woo-woo came in and put it on the iron.
The woo?
The woo-woo.
El cucuy. Sorry. Okay. From Sharon Kirsch, what straight pin is Kimberly using?
Straight pins. Ashley will have to answer. I don't remember the name. I will tell you that my favorite is C103. It's been discontinued. I bought every box I could before it got discontinued. I prefer a pin that is long and as thin as possible. So that's what I go for. Now, when you do that, you're going to poke yourself a lot when you start. I like them thinner because when I pin, let me see. I was going to show you a thick one, but we don't have any thick pins up here because I don't like them. But when you're pinning, I'm trying to look around to see if we have any others. I don't think we do. So when you're pinning, you just want to be able to pin just like this and see your fabric stayed in the same spot. If you have a really thick pin and you put it in, it's going to go like, and then you're more likely to move your fabric. So the longer and thinner it is, but I don't remember the SKU number on this because we had to change.
I got it.
Oh, okay.
It's the Clover Silk Pins Boxed Clover number 2501. And next question from Shiba Sushi. Suggested beginner quilt pattern for cider? I can't wait for cider to arrive.
For cider, I think something with long horizontal stripes would be really cool. And I think there's one by Cluck Cluck Sew. that has like long rectangles, like big rectangles, because that fabric, you don't want to cut it up too small. You want to really show it. So look at Cluck Cluck Sew. I think there's something there that might look good with horizontal pieces.
And then from The Age of Fabulous, tell Kimberly that I had lunch with her once in Houston when she was at the quilt show about 5 years ago.
You did?
Her real name is Jennifer S.
Okay, hi. What did we talk about? Or
What did you eat? I want to know what you ate.
Lilly. Okay, Lily's all about talking about what she eat. The other day when we were done with the live stream, I was like, I'm going to die. I'm so hungry. But I do have something to tell Lilly. I don't know if she figured it out. Guess what they're building 0.1 mile away from here? Next to the Burger King.
Next? Oh, that's going to be real close. Hang on, let me think. Is it something you really like?
Yeah.
Is it Starbucks?
Yep.
Yes!
And so we can do a circle. I don't know if it's on this side of the Burger King or on the Home Depot side. If it's on the Home Depot side, that's going to kind of put us in take a little bit longer. I'm so excited.
We could walk there.
No, you're going to get hit by a car on 35.
You walk on the grass.
That's the frontage road. You're not walking. I will not let you because you will get hit by a car because people drive fast on that frontage road.
They do. They really do. That's
yeah,
true.
No.
I'll wear a helmet. No, I'm kidding. Sorry.
Then you're going to have your head still going to be there and your arm's going to be
Oh my god.
crushed. No, you're not walking.
All right.
But I'm very excited. I'm so excited about that. Let's have
great.
Starbucks.
Yeah, that Burger King's the most convenient spot to go to, but you can't have Burger King every day.
I've never even been to that Burger King.
I've been to it once.
Yeah, I haven't. I did eat McDonald's on New Year's Day though because it was all that was open. Because I cooked on Christmas Day, so I didn't want to like cook twice. You know, I want to sew. I didn't really want to cook twice. So one of my sons loves McDonald's. He's the only one in the family. I mean, I don't know why he loves it. And so we passed it when I went to Starbucks because, Starbucks is open on New Year's Day. And I was like, oh, McDonald's is open. He was so excited all day. We're going to get McDonald's. And Kevin's looking at me like, why did you tell him we're going to get McDonald's?
That's funny.
It was so, I don't know.
Yeah, McDonald's is good sometimes. That's a mood.
But it made his day. It was so awesome.
That's awesome. From The Age of Fabulous, what is your favorite iron besides the Oliso?
It's the only one I use. It's the only one I use at home. Nothing else.
Okay. Gina Tell Thread Graffiti said, Avon Skin, so soft, takes anything off your iron. Also, the back of the labels have some adhesive, might have gotten onto the iron. Okay. And she said, and good morning, everyone.
Maybe when I did the table runner backing.
Maybe.
But I don't think so because that doesn't usually do that at my house.
Yeah.
And I do the I don't know.
That's because it's literally been stashed away since last year.
Yeah, it's probably caked on.
That's funny.
I'm telling you, like, we could have just been at home and the woo-woo came in and put it on there.
There you go.
To make me mad.
Okay, from Diane Lyles, why do you press to the side before pressing open?
I feel like it makes it flatter. And I'm less likely to burn myself if you just press that open and put the iron over it. Since it's already flat, I'm less likely to burn myself.
Funny comment from Kathy Achenbach. She says, at our house, there was a man in the basement that did stuff since nobody would ever admit they did it. So it had to be the man in the basement that we never saw or heard from. LOL.
That's funny.
Okay. And from Marion Malone, is there a specific size block that works best for baby quilts?
I don't think there's a specific size. It kind of depends what you're going for. We have a Charming Baby book, but that has a lot of small blocks, big blocks. You could even do the brand new Moda. It's called Color Me Moda. No, it's called My Favorite Color is Moda. Yes. The first block is 36 inches square. I made it. I'm going to show it to you in a future live stream, but I made it in like an hour. It's all half square triangles. So you can do something really big or small. I would say a crib quilt should be about 36 inches square. That's just a guide. It depends, if you want it to be, an heirloom, or you just want something they can use, how much time you want to put into it. But half square triangles are always great for that.
And the Age of Fabulous says that you had barbecue baked potatoes and you guys talked about quilting.
Oh, I had a barbecue baked potato. That sounds good.
That sounds delicious. Thank you for letting me know that.
She's going to go find one at lunch.
No, Ashley brought me breakfast, so shout out to Ashley for that. So that's what I'm going to have afterwards. Okay, from Robin Jones, doesn't washing the finished quilt change the texture of the whole quilt from the new feel? And they said this quilt is going to someone else. So a quilt they're making.
Yes, so if you wash it, it's going to make it softer. I would not wash it until it is quilted and bound all the way. I hardly ever wash my quilts, but if I do, I dry them outside on a fence, like either wooden fence or black fence. Or, like some of my houses have had those black wire fences. What do you call what I have, Lily? They're just black. They're wire. Yeah. They're wrought iron. That's the word.
Wrought iron. There you go.
And so I will either just put it over a wood fence or a wrought iron fence, and I just let it air out outside because it gets less shrivelly, and then it takes the smell from outside too. Like, it smells good because it's like outside.
Yeah, fresh air.
Yeah, except for right now when there's pollen in the air everywhere.
It's literally
not everywhere. Today. Don't put it on your fence today. It's green outside.
No, I'm dying from allergies, guys. Okay, we have a lot of new YouTube members, a lot of super chats, so we're gonna go through them right now. First two YouTube members I'm gonna shout out are actually from Monday. I missed them shouting them out on Monday, so I'm gonna shout them out right now. And first YouTube member is Susan Couson. Welcome, Susan.
Thank you.
And Reenie Llama. Welcome, Reenie.
Thank you.
And new YouTube member Lizzie E. Welcome, Lizzie. And Christine Benningfield. Welcome, Christine.
And we're going to be doing a live stream for members on Tuesday, January 19th.
Yes, that is correct. And what will we be showing that day, Kimberly?
So we're going to show new Moda and then any other manufacturers that we load between now and then that we have cards on. So some manufacturers send us these cards, some don't. So whatever we have samples of, we will show.
And new YouTube member, Betty H. Welcome, Betty.
Thank you.
And Cyrax MC, welcome. I hope I pronounced that right. And new YouTube member, Sue Sweeney.
Thank you.
And Val Earl, welcome, Val. Is that short for Valerie? One of my best friends is named Valerie. And new YouTube member, Barb Watson, welcome, Barb. And new YouTube member, Monique Robinson, welcome, Monique. And then we had a super chat from Valeria Bauer for $19.99.
Thank you.
And next one was Carolyn Poley, new YouTube member. Welcome, Carolyn. And then we had a super chat from My So Quilty Life for $4.99, and they said, "I'm so happy to catch this live. Kimberly and everyone at Fat Quarter Shop, thank you for always having the best content out there."
Thank you. I try. Lily tries. We all try.
We really do.
Like right after this live stream, I'm going home and like starching and sewing for a future live stream.
Yes.
Lily is impressed. I'm going to speak for her. She's impressed at all I did. With all my stuff, I got so much done.
I really am. Like putting together today's live stream, I was like, wow, she did all of this?
I know. I just basically, I did 20 blocks in, I think it was 6 days. Mm-hmm. And I was like, oh, I'm tired. I was like...
And super chat from Deborah Weidrich. Welcome, Deborah. Or sorry, not welcome. Thank you for your super chat for $5. Deborah says, "Thank you for all you do. I have learned so much."
Thank you.
But also welcome as part of the chat and all that. And then we had a super chat from Sandy K for 2021. And Sandy says, "Welcome to 2021, a new year filled with creativity from Fat Quarter Shop."
Thank you.
Yes, that should be the slogan right now.
Yes, I'm so excited about 2021. Like, I just am like excited about everything. Just positivity. Wake up in the morning, be positive. and be productive. Get up first thing in the morning and start moving. I've gotten up every day this week at 6:45. That's like a miracle.
Wow.
That's a miracle for me. I'm like, it's a miracle. But tomorrow I think I have to be at the dance studio at like 7.
Oh man.
Lord help me. But I don't have to go in. Haha. So I can just go. I can just look how I look. I don't know. Some of the moms are like, we're going to have a mom happy hour. I was like, good for y'all. Y'all go. I'm not going. No, I'm not COVID. No, I'm not going. I'm like,
safe.
no, thank you.
Super chat from Charlotte Gray for $4.99, and Charlotte says, I use Faultless hot iron cleaner. I love it. Best one I have found. We'll have to
Good.
try
Okay,
that,
I'm going to
Charlotte.
have to find that, and I'm going to have to buy that and try it. I had no idea.
Yeah, I didn't either. From Ileana Fernandez, super chat for $19.99, and Ileana said, you guys are awesome.
Thank you.
You're awesome. Everyone watching is awesome because you're here.
Thank you. And we still have a ton of content. We probably have an hour more, 2 hours more. We got a lot today. So
Yes, we do.
we're going to start the year off right.
Okay. And Linda Frederick was asking, will you be in Houston for the quilt market in 2021?
No. So Quilt Market, I don't even know if they'll have it, but no. I usually don't go to Quilt Market because I have kids, and I mean, if I could go, I mean, I would, but I kind of have Quilt Market right here in my building. I've already seen everything. It's kind of, and yeah, but we don't do a booth. That's probably what you're asking. We don't do a booth. We did a booth one time, and we realized that that was just not best for our personalities here. Because, I mean, you can really only do one thing well. And I'm like, you know what? Let's just do online. And Kevin and I have 4 kids. Like, we don't, like, our kids come first. So I have no idea if they're going to have something that weekend, but I'm not going to miss it.
And super chat from Kathy Cracker for $19.99, and Kathy says, you are amazing with a little dancing pear with a top hat and a stick.
Thank you.
A cane, sorry, not a stick. And next super chat is from Madeline Santiago for $10, and she put a little pear going like this, dancing around, saying #1 fan.
Thank you.
I love all the little pears. I think those are called super stickers. And new YouTube member Gabriel Fuentes, who said, I am not new, I am just renewing, but it's great to have you get back, Gabriel. So
Thank you.
that's why I'm shouting you out. And from Shelly Murphy, super chat for $5, and Shelly says, Container Store has these boxes. What?
Oh, good. Okay, good.
We love Container Store. At least I do. I think Kimberly does too.
I do. I found the cutest little box from there that I use like all the time in cross stitch.
Okay. A few more YouTube members. Lorraine Browden. Welcome, Lorraine. And Terry Alger. Welcome, Terry. Deb Pryor. Welcome, Deb. D Singer 1100. Welcome, D Singer. And Paula Henderson. Welcome, Paula.
Thank you. So I'm gonna take a little break now. Lily's gonna come in, and I'll be right back.
Do-do-do-do. I'm going up there. Intermission. It's time for the back for the top. Intermission.
Hello.
Hello, everyone. Happy 2021 for anyone who has not heard it from us yet. Excited to be up here, excited for the new year. I have seen a few YouTube questions coming in throughout the live stream, so I'm going to go ahead and address those. But first, I want to let you guys know that this year will be showing you guys my Nebula block of the month that I'm going to be working on this year during these intermissions. If you guys are part of that, the first shipment has been delayed by a few days. It's going out on Monday. I'm sure you guys all received an email just like I did letting us know. So I am super excited about that. Starting that, Julie Herman of Jaybird Quilts posted a tutorial on the first month's block earlier this week. So I'm sure as much of you guys are, I'm excited to get my hands on the fabric and start sewing that up. I will also give you guys my final journey to Nebula, which was a skill builder sew along leading up to Nebula. next week. I am just trying to finish up everything because I got a little behind and now I'm being perfectionistic about it and I don't want to show it until it's all done. So YouTube questions. Bumble Stitches, I saw you say that you are a YouTube member but not sure how to access the emojis. So to use the emojis when you're in the chat right now, whether you're on your phone or a laptop or desktop, you should be able to, where you type in the chat, see a little keyboard icon right underneath where you type. And if you click that, it gives you the option to go to like the members only emojis and you can start putting those in the chat. Also quadruple check that your YouTube membership is attached to this account that you're using, the Bumble Stitches account. It's pretty obvious. You'll have an icon next to your name in the chat anytime you type something. And your name will also be highlighted a different color than everyone else's. So let me know if that works for you. Rhonda McDonald, I see you're asking what my shirt says. It is a t-shirt from the Silver Moon Drive-In from the 4 months that I lived out in Orlando. I think Silver Moon Drive-In's not in Orlando. It's in, I forget what city, but it was the closest drive-in. And me and my friends went there for a double feature. I think it was like Back to the Future and some movie with, oh my gosh, I forget her name. She plays Serena Williams in Gossip Girl. But it was something about a shark, the movie. Which one? No, the other one, the blonde one. Sorry, Jocelyn was suggesting a name. Joe Ma was asking if this video will be available to watch later. Yes, it will, both on YouTube and Facebook. As long as YouTube and Facebook are live and on the internet, and we all have internet, these videos will be out there forever. And then there's a lot more videos on our YouTube channel, tutorials and all that if you want to hop on over there. Sylvia Martinez, I saw your comment about your YouTube alert being kind of late after we started. I've noticed, talked about this in an earlier live stream this week, I think, but we've just noticed YouTube has been sending the notifications about 5 minutes into our live stream. It depends on their algorithm and when they think you're most likely to tune in. But if you want to get that alert like right at 9, we always go live right at 9 on the dot. So you can either set just a reminder on your phone, or you could go to our YouTube channel like the day before the live stream, and you'll see that our live stream is scheduled for the next day to start at 9. And it'll have a little set reminder button at the bottom right. If you just click that and then make sure notifications for YouTube are enabled on your phone, then you should get that notification right at 9. All right, and then other question from Ron Smith, the get around for the iPhone to avoid the Apple charges. You have to sign up for the YouTube membership on, sorry, I lost my train of thought. You have to sign up for your YouTube membership on a non-Apple device. So either an Android phone or a laptop that's not Apple, or a desktop that's not Apple. You can borrow someone's phone, sign into your YouTube account real quick, sign up for the membership, and then just make sure it's tied to whatever account you're going to be using on your iPhone, and that's the way to kind of bypass those weird Apple fees Apple puts on top of it. I hope that helps. I did a whole segment on it a few live streams ago, and we can link that. There's more details in there. Gwen Smith said, I look like a bright, shiny sunflower today. Thank you. Sunflowers are my favorite flower, so I really appreciate you saying that. I appreciate all the comments about my voice, too. I really like that you guys like my voice. So that makes me feel good because I've been self-conscious about my voice for a lot of my life. And Gabriel Fuentes said, Blake Lively. Yes, Blake Lively. It was a movie with Blake Lively that day. Like Into the Shallows or The Shallows or something like that. We went for Back to the Future because that's one of my favorite movies. And yeah, Silver Moon is in Lakeland, Florida. That's right. And now I will pass it back over to Kimberly. End of intermission. I'm gonna move this cart. Oh
yeah, I'll move this one back. Okay. We have a bunch of carts here, sorry. Thank you, Lily.
Thank you.
So we have a special feature here. I'm very excited about it. We're gonna announce one of our first sew-alongs of the year. So you've seen a lot of the sew-alongs that we're gonna do, and I'm gonna be talking about other sew-alongs also. But we're starting a sew-along, and it's called Stronger Together. It is to celebrate Black History Month, and I'm gonna show you the quilts I'm gonna show you the cross stitch, what we're raising money for, and then you're gonna get to meet Jocelyn, who is the designer, and she's gonna talk about all of her inspiration for it. And you guys have asked to talk to her before, so if you have any questions for her on designer mystery or any of the other things, because she does all of our big quilts. So first I'm gonna show you the quilt. The pattern is available. Can we do the top camera?
Yes.
So the pattern is available on our website. All of the money that we sell making this pattern will go directly to UNCF, and their mission is to increase the total number of African American college graduates. Within your pattern, you're going to see biographies of different textile makers that were African American, and Jocelyn can talk about that too. It's a 4-part downloadable PDF, and I'm going to show you the actual, the quilt kit. So the quilt kit is going to be in this fabric, which is speckled by Rashida Coleman Hale of Ruby Star Society, and the fabric is delayed. The kits will be available the second the fabrics get here. We're thinking late January, early February, but since Black History Month is February, we're not pushing the sew along back. We're just going to leave it as it is and hope for the best on the kits. So if you can't, or you don't like the color of this kit, we do have a coloring sheet, and you can see you can pick the 6 fabrics and place them here. And Jocelyn designed all of this. I'm going to show you the quilt and the cross stitch. I'm going to put this right here so we can get to it. So here's the beautiful quilt. Okay, who made this?
Let me get that info real quick. Noah? Elva made it.
So Elva made this. Okay, let's see if we're at the front. Okay, so here, front camera. There we go. Is this the front, Jocelyn?
Yes.
Okay, so here's the quilt. The size is, let's see, 50 by 50. So this is Elva's quilt. This is the back. I believe that Mike from My Long Arm Quilter quilted it. So that's the quilt. So we have a pattern for the quilt. We also have, I'm going to leave this here actually. We also have 2 cross stitches. And that is a separate pattern, and all of the money from the sale of that pattern will also go to UNCF. And the 2 cross stitches we have look totally different. We did one that is based on the quilt, and we did one that was more logo based. And we have a thread pack that comes with the thread, and it has the band that says Stronger Together in it. The quilt kit will also have that, and we used aqua fabric for both of these, and you can see the different effect because this aqua looks different than this, but they're the same. So very excited to be able, Kevin and I are very excited to be able to raise money to donate to UNCF. And Jocelyn is going to come and talk about the inspiration for this quilt, the history, the everything, and y'all can get to meet Jocelyn.
Woohoo!
Woohoo!
Jocelyn in the house. Woo!
And she's worked for us for 13 years.
Ooh, go Jocelyn.
All right. So it's my first time on camera, so forgive me like any fumbles but hi, I'm Jocelyn. Like Kimberly said, I've been here a while, and I'm the design manager, so I handle the design of most of the big programs at Fat Quarter Shop, and it's really exciting. Every day is really different and fun. So this one, gosh, Stronger Together quilt. The main inspiration, of course, being Black History Month, we started with the story of Harriet Tubman because, I mean, she's just everything. She's courage, she's hope, she's action. So for her, we kind of symbolized her journey, her struggle with the North Star blocks in this quilt. They're the main feature of this quilt. We did pull some blocks from what's called the underground Railroad Quilt Kit, or Quilt Code, sorry. It is an account that was published, I think, about 15 years ago or so, maybe 20 years ago. And since then, it has been found to not be true. But we still liked the symbolism that the blocks provided, which kind of, it's like a visual representation of, I think, struggle and courage and hope. So that's where we drew these blocks from. These half square triangles right here, in this setting, they look like flying geese. So that also represents kind of the journey north that Harriet Tubman took. Below that, we have kind of this grid, design. Kind of looks like gingham. That was kind of a variation on a 9-patch block, and for us, it represents community, support, allyship. In that time period, it would have been people outside who were trying to help, like abolitionists, Quakers, anybody who would provide a safe house of some sort, anybody who was assisting people in that journey. And then overall, it is finished in this huge pinwheel motion that represents movement, action, and I think it's just overall, we hope it's a good tribute to Harriet Tubman's story. Mm-hmm. And going beyond that, if you go to the Stronger Together patterns, there are 5 women. Well, really 4 women in one group of Black women who are profiled there. There's Harriet Tubman right there. She's the inspiration for this whole quilt. And then moving through, there's definitely, you'll find G's Bend, which I think everyone's heard of them by now. They were just forerunners of kind of a make-do movement. And they've hugely influenced modern quilting today. Then we have, who's next? Harriet Powers. I think she's unofficially known as the mother of quilting. But yeah, I mean, she's just a tremendous person. Going on, Rosie Lee Tompkins, an incredible artist. And then Elizabeth Hobbs Keckley. She pretty much created this textile empire in her era. So pretty amazing woman. Mm-hmm. Gwendolyn McKee, she's a more contemporary fiber artist. Just her, as you can see, this is one of her pieces. It's just gorgeous. Mm-hmm. And so those are the women that you're going to find profiled in the patterns. They're just amazing textile artists, fiber artists in their own right, and we hope you enjoy learning about them as much as we did. So yeah, that is the story of the quilt and the people in the patterns. Thanks for having me.
We have a few questions.
Oh, okay.
If you're cool with answering.
I will try.
First of all, everyone is super jazzed to meet you. You're saying, hi, Jocelyn. Nice to meet you. And Inga Kauslerich said, so nice to see the beautiful faces behind the names. Hi, Jocelyn.
Hi.
And question from Kathy Blacklock, is there any symbolism behind the color choices?
Well, obviously we wanted something really rich and vibrant. The choice of the speckled line was a conscientious one. Really, we just went for really, really powerful colors, obviously starting with black for Black History Month. And then moving on with that, a lot of rich red tones, green for growth. Blue is kind of an overall calming color. So altogether, I think we started with the stronger colors, and then I pulled in the brighter and lighter from there.
From Diane Motley, what is your background, Jocelyn? Design major?
Actually, my major in college was advertising, but I've always had an interest in arts. When I actually started working here, I didn't know anything about quilting at all. And as I started working with Kimberly and Kevin in the marketing department, scanning fabrics, doing website stuff, and as I learned more about it, I just discovered that there was just so much amazing stuff you could do in quilting, and thanks to Kimberly for letting me grow into that. I think she just saw that I had potential and just really tapped into it. So yeah, I've just been designing for them for 12 years, most of my time here. So yeah, that's the story, the short story of it.
Yes. MJ said, awesome to hear your design interpretation and inspiration. Yes, Jocelyn is just amazing, but also the design is also amazing.
Oh, well, I'm really glad. I mean, I'm so thankful that you guys are here and hopefully going to join us for this. I think it's a really powerful and amazing thing that we're raising funds for. So, yeah.
So one other thing that I do want to mention and give 100% of credit for is Jocelyn is the 100% reason why we raise money for Make-A-Wish, and in the past have raised money for March of Dimes and St. Jude's Hospital. She's the one who taught me to be a charitable person, and now Kevin and I personally do a lot of charitable donations behind the scenes that we would have never done without Jocelyn, because she taught us to do it. And when we do it, it made us feel like a better person. So everything that you have ever donated, she started this. And she started our charity quilt. She designs it every year. So we have a huge thank you to her for that.
You're going to make me cry. No, I mean, well, thank you. But I honestly, even if the idea was mine, the people carrying it forward are Kimberly and Kevin. I always just would throw out an idea like, why don't we just try to do a fundraiser? And they would just kick it up like 1,000 times. Mm-hmm. So the only reason all these fundraisers are here and at the scale that they are is because of the Jollies. So yeah, no, thank you for taking that leap. I mean, it really is.
Confetti cannon for Jocelyn. Go Jocelyn.
Yay, thank you.
And a comment from Katrina T. Katrina says, I love sewing quilt blocks, but I especially love when I know the symbolism and stories that go with them. It makes me feel connected to the generations of quilters before us.
I totally agree. I'm 100% there too.
Okay. Teresa says, when do you expect the speckled fabric to be in?
End of January, early February.
All right, Jocelyn.
Yay.
You did awesome.
Oh,
thank you so much. Go, Jocelyn.
Thank you all for being here. We really appreciate it, every single one of you. So, yeah. Okay.
Yay, Jocelyn.
Yes, big round of applause for Jocelyn. Thank you.
So big props to her for coming up here doing that, because I know that's hard, especially the first time. And we have talked about having her come in, like when I'm off on a week or something, and she could talk about designer mystery or charity, any of the things, because she's the designer for anything that we do that's very big. And then we have designers that do like Jolly Bars, all Jolly Bars, or, that kind of thing. So I'm going to put this stuff aside really quick, just so I have room. And then I want to answer any questions you have on any of that before I move to my next segment, because we do have a ton more. I guess, oops, I just dropped everything. That's so funny. But really, when we start the year off, we want to start it off right. We want to start off on a positive note. And with me being, I'll get it, Lily. With me being out 2 weeks and Lily being out 2 weeks, we kind of went crazy. So I just spilt everything. I'll get it. Sorry, that's how I transition. Real smooth.
Sorry, guys. Forgot to turn down the mic when Kimberly went back up. And while I wait for any extra questions to come in, Need a Break earlier had asked if we are excited about the possible snow this weekend.
Okay, I saw that, and I don't know what she's talking about. Is it supposed to snow here?
I don't know. I'm going to look it up right now.
I have no idea. All I know is that my daughter has dance tomorrow morning, and I have to figure, because, yeah, I got to figure out where she needs to be, and I don't watch the news at all, so that would be why I don't know. But if it snows, that'd be awesome.
Yeah, Sunday evening is when there's a possibility, I think.
What's the percentage?
Let me see. Oh. Well, chance of rain alone is 80%, but then it's going to cool off in the evening even more, and that's when we get a higher percentage.
Oh. Yeah, that would be awesome if it snowed. I will look at it through the window. I will be like, hi, snow! Me and the dog will stay inside, and everybody else will go outside. But that would be awesome if it snowed.
And let's see, Jackie Curry said, great presentation. When can we purchase the pattern?
Now, we started it off, so the pattern's available now for both the cross stitch and the quilting, and it does have all of the biographies listed, and we're going to start the sew along in February, but to raise as much money as possible, we obviously start it just like we do with Make-A-Wish way before the event, because the goal is always the charity. And the kits, you know, they'll be available when the fabric's available. With everything kind of right now, everything's logistically delayed, but we're not going to push it back because Black History Month is Black History Month, and we're not going to change history here. Or maybe we will one day.
All right. And Lisa Reiser said, what thread color do you recommend for the American Quilters quilt from Primitive Gatherings?
So I'm so glad that you asked that. I am going to start sewing that today because as a designer you get to see stuff before, and I will probably try a couple of threads. I will probably start with 2600, which is a gray. I think it's going to be too light, but I have a couple of grays. So Lilly can make a note, and next week I will tell you what color worked best because I'm going to be working on that today. I definitely won't use color 2000. But I do worry about, I don't like to use too dark of a gray because it might show through. And you know, I might text Lisa Bonjean and just say, hey, what color gray should I use? And do what she says. That'd probably be a good idea. And I can definitely let you know next week. I just have to remember to let you know. And I'm very forgetful, so if Lilly doesn't ask me, just ask me. So the next thing we want to start the year off with is our Best Friends Quilt Along. So a lot of you know that Lori and I are best friends, and we want to start 2021 off with this. So we are doing a sew along to make this quilt. It is going to finish 48 inches square, and it uses an assortment of our foundation papers, and you can make it in the 6-inch size or the 12-inch. All of the fabric requirements are online, and it started yesterday. So for this week, we're asking that you make 12 blocks right here, and you just use this paper. So I'm going to show you what Lori and I are doing. I made 6 blocks, and Lori made 6 blocks. She's going to pop that up. So that's going to be what goes in the quilt. We're going to auction this quilt off to Make-A-Wish at the end, and we hope that we can raise a lot of money from that. I'm going to show you what we're using. You can use any fabric you would like. We are using the B Basics and Backgrounds layer cake. This is the B Basics layer cake, and this is the B Backgrounds layer cake. And you can see I have a lot left over because I made half of the blocks only. And I'm going to put all of this into my scrap bucket, or I might use it for the back, you know, we'll see. But I do have a lot left over. I do want to show you the one decision that I made is I am not using these colors. They're lovely and I love them, but I just left them out because I just did. So I'm not using these colors, and neither is Lori. But that's great, because guess what? I can cut all these up into a 6.5-inch square, 2.5-inch square, and put them in my bucket. So you can see what I did is I started with 1 3/4 inch strips. And it says to cut 1.5 inch strips. I always just cut a little bit bigger. And I just took the layer cakes and just cut off a bunch of strips. Let me show you. And you'll have all these strips left over. So I just cut randomly the strips. And the gray and the brown I did use from the background fabrics. Just the ones I just showed you were the only ones that we're not using. But I did use all of the backgrounds. And I have a lot left over just because I'm only doing half. And as I was sewing, I used the quick press seam presser to press as I went so I wouldn't have to get up and iron every time. So these are my 6 log cabin blocks. I do have the paper on there still. I'm going to remove it before we put it into a quilt. And again, we're going to auction this off. And on the back is going to be a pieced back with my label in the center. And Lori is going to applique her label on the center of that quilt also. And we're gonna auction that off on eBay. Awesome. Later in the year. So so just follow along with us. Next week we'll be making a different block and a different quantity, and you'll just download that on our blog. And we are using our foundation paper pads. We're using the log cabin, economy, pineapple, and courthouse steps, and each week you would just look and it will tell you how many to make. And if you don't want to use the foundation paper, we don't have instructions for making the blocks individually separately, but you can find those online if you would like to do that a different way. So let me know what questions you have on this. I'm very excited about it because I will say I really want that quilt though, so maybe I would have to. What if I bought that? What if I made the quilt and then bought it for myself to give more money to make a wish? That would be kind of funny.
That would be funny, but also great.
Yes.
Question from Nancy Redford Pickard. Do you need the layer cake for the 12-inch?
For the 12-inch, there are different fabric requirements. You would use the B Basics Fat Quarter Bundle and B Backgrounds Fat Quarter Bundle. Some of those are sold out. Actually, both of those are sold out. And we kind of came up with the 12-inch side after, but we don't have the fabric to make more. Mm-hmm. So obviously when you're working with a 12-inch side, you could probably make all of the centers. It's these bigger pieces on the end that you would need you would need wider than 10 inches.
And are both you and Lori starching your fabric?
No. So I'm starching mine. Lori is not. So whoever buys it, just don't wash it. But that's how we sew. And so you're going to get a quilt from us that is truly a Kimberly quilt, a Lori quilt. Lori has made all the blocks. I'm making my blocks. And I think I've already pieced the backing. I think it's at Lori's house to put her label on. And then I will piece the top and I will send it to Gina Tell of Thread Graffiti to quilt and bind it.
And from Crafting a Planned Life, are you using the same fabric for the whole quilt, all the different blocks?
So, we are using the same fabric collections, and I'm going to show you my blocks again, and then show you hers. We are not making the same exact blocks, we're doing them all scrappy. So I'm going to show you my 6, and then Lily can show you her 6. Mm-hmm. And you'll see that hers probably look a million times better than mine, because she's way better at color than me. So those are my 6, and then those are her 6s. So you can see she's got yellow on the outside of her blocks, and I have no yellow on the outside of mine. So it's going to all look great together.
Mm-hmm. Lori Holt said, Kimberly, we can just both buy our quilt back and then share custody.
Oh, yeah. Oh. 1 year you get the kid, 1 year I get the kid.
Yes. And then holidays.
I only get the quilt when it's good, though. I don't want the kid when it's bad.
That's funny. Wendy Surfaceberg said, my friend and I picked fabric for ourselves, swap the fabric, I will sew hers and she will sew mine, and then swap back when done.
That's awesome.
That's so cute.
And that's what we meant it to be. It's something that you can do. Obviously, right now, there's no quilt retreats and all of that. And so we're doing this as like an online thing, and you can gather with your friends and create your own group.
Mm-hmm.
It's kind of like thinking about what's going on now and making the best of whatever you can and turning it into the best thing that you can.
Yeah, positive way to connect. From Kathy Longo, will you and Lori sign the quilt label on the quilt?
So mine has my name in it because it's got the label from Sweetwater. I can sign it though, but hers will be signed and appliqued in. I just use the Sweetwater label, but if somebody wants me to sign it, I can sign it. And I'll sign it before. Gina, just don't quilt it until I sign it if I forget. Because I already know I'm going to forget to sign it. Lori will help me remember. Lori knows how forgetful I am. She's always like, I told you. I'm like, I know, I forgot already.
From Jillian Bellin, would it be better to use a jelly roll for the log cabin blocks?
So you can use a jelly roll. And for the 12-inch size, you can use a jelly roll for the courthouse steps and the log cabin. They won't work for the economy or the pineapple pads though.
Oh.
And let's see. I'll show you I put it on the ground. Hold on. For this one, the 6-inch, 1.5-inch paper works. And that will work on the log cabin and the courthouse steps. But again, the economy block and the pineapple block, it will not work. So kind of just depends what you have. And you can do this with scraps. You don't have to buy anything. You can use scraps.
And from Carlene Dickey, is there an issue with washing the quilt if using starch?
Well, it will shrink differently.
Yeah, so if Kimberly has starched her fabrics, but Lori hasn't, the fabrics might react differently to being
Yeah,
washed.
but I think it'll still be fine. I mean,
Yeah.
we're going to quilt it pretty tight.
Yeah.
So when you quilt it pretty tight, it'll probably account for that rather than like really big quilting.
All right. And question from before from Donna Kehoe. Curious, has Kim's new Juki arrived?
No, I asked about it. It hasn't shipped yet, and that's fine. I don't know. I'm going to see if I can put it up without asking Kevin to put it up and see if I've already told him, but I know what he's going to do. He's going to say, what does this do different than the other one? And I'm going to say, nothing. I'm frivolous. Just go. I've been frivolous. I have been very frivolous lately. I'm getting it together. No more frivolity for me.
Ooh.
And I just made that word up.
Frivol. It's a word.
Oh, well,
Frivol.
there you go.
Yeah. All right, and then a few new YouTube members. Life as a Mom, new YouTube member, welcome. Thank you. Great username, by the way. New YouTube member Farah Masood, welcome Farah. And Cheryl Ride, new YouTube member, welcome Cheryl. Sorry, Reed. And we had a super chat from Chantel Deemling for $19.99, and Chantel says, after jumping into making thousands of masks last year, I've learned to quilt. Your channel and Lori's is my go-to for all things quilting. Thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you so much. That's awesome to hear. And we had a super chat from Lori Roth for $9.99, and she put a cute little fox holding a heart.
Oh, thank you.
And one more new YouTube member, Robin Henrich, sorry. Thank you, Robin, for joining. Sorry if I'm misspelling. Oh my gosh, I can't talk today, guys. That's all.
Okay, so our next sew along is also, is it free? I think it is.
Yes.
Free pattern. It's called 2021 Swirling Stars, and Jocelyn designed it. So the lady you just met, she designed this. Every year I like to do something to use up my leftover scraps. So this is our quilt for the year. This is how it looks. It is made up of a combination of 22-inch blocks like this and 11-inch blocks. And I've already started making mine. And you can see this is made from the leftovers from the blocks that we made on live stream. These are leftover from something else I made. I don't even know what I made, but it's something, it's left over from something. Now I'm going to do a couple of different things this year from it. This quilt uses the 5-inch triangle paper and the 2.75-inch triangle paper, or 2 3/4. So what I'm doing in mine, because I am making so many quilts this year, to be able to get all my fabrics in this small quilt, which is 66 by 88, I am using every fabric only once. Everything else goes in my scrap buckets. So I'm going to show you this. And I got lucky because this is on top. So you can see that I've already cut this, used it once, and here's a square that's in my scrap bucket. Another thing that I'm going to do, so only using it once, so I use half of the half square triangle. The rest go in my bucket. Also, I'm using the same background in each block, but every block will have a different background. And I'm pressing open. So I'm going to show you. And the reason I'm pressing open is when you put this to here, you don't want to have to worry about that. And when you put this seam and this seam next to here, you don't want to have to worry about it. So this is how it looks pressed open. Very easy. And I am going to, like every 2 weeks or so, kind of show you the blocks. And some might be more cream and one-toned. Some might be totally scrappy. These two are from the same collection. And I can't remember what I made that this is left over from, but I made something. And it uses the 5-inch and the 2 3/4-inch paper. And what I do is I cut it off and just cut half of the half square triangle, flip it on, sew it, cut it, throw it together. Does that make sense, Lily, or should I show it?
Can you show it real quick?
Yeah, I can. Can I have one of the small rulers? Sorry, I think they're gone.
They're all over here.
I'm like, something. So I use washi tape. Not washi tape, painter's tape. Thank you. Actually, I want a bigger one. Can you hand me 6.5? Thanks. Sorry, thank you. So I use this tape. You can get it. I use also Lori's tape and Bonnie and Camille's tape, but you can get this one at Home Depot. It's called something. It's not painter's tape. I don't know what it's called, but it's something. I just know they have it at Lowe's and Home Depot. That's what I use to close my...
Masking tape?
Yeah, I bet it's masking tape. And then I kind of make it, I go back, put it back, and you can reuse it. So that's what I use. So what I'm doing is I'm taking these half square triangles, cutting them in half, and when they're like this, what you do, just set them down, put a ruler on them, come back in 5 minutes, and they won't be as curly.
Oh.
So that'll take the curl out. And what I do, I'm going to show you how I do it. And I'm going to think through how I do it. I'm going to pull some squares and show you what I do. So technically I would use my leftover fabric, not my leftover squares. But I have a background in here. Hopefully these are big enough. I don't even know. No, they're not. This is the wrong size. Hold on. That's the one below it. Okay. So I would be using technically that orange stripe that I just cut up before I got to this. Here they are. Sorry, I have to put that on the floor, Lily, because
You're fine.
So I would not be pulling these fabrics from my bin. I'm just showing you as an example. Because that's what I have. I would put my fabrics right sides together. I would pin. I would stitch on this dotted line. Then I would just trim around. And then from the square rulers over there. Can you hand me a 2.5-inch square?
Yes.
Please. And you won't be able to get as much from the smaller one. Thanks. There you go. You save that side and put that in your box. Or you could do 1.5 and 1.5 right here, like a 1.5 and 1.5, and then you just have a little bit of waste. But that's the way that I only get one fabric in here, because I'm gonna make so many quilts. There's no way. I would have like 5 of these quilts. And I don't have time to make 5 more quilts. And I want to have one quilt that has everything just used that many times. And I will put these back in my box later. So this is also another sew along, and I'm gonna do this throughout all of 2021. Now usually I finish around September because that's when I have accumulated enough blocks. You're gonna make 8 of the large blocks and 16 of the small blocks. So I have 2 small, 1 big, and you're gonna see that I'm using all kinds of fabrics. So this is like a busier background than this is cream, this is white. It will all go together. It will look fabulous when I'm done. So I do hope that you guys join me for that sew along. Are there any questions on that sew along?
Not yet.
Okay, so I'm gonna move to the next one. I'm gonna move this over here.
I have a funny comment from Teresa. Teresa says about telling Kevin about the Juki, just tell him that it has a special feature you've been needing. If he asks which one, you can say it's the happiness feature. You had a rough year and it has made you happy.
That's funny. That would be
happy. Yes.
I mean, he really doesn't. I mean, I don't think he cares. Or he better not care. Okay, I'm going to turn this way. So this is another sew along that I do every year. It is sponsored by Sherry McConnell of A Quilting Life. She has a video on this. She has this free pattern on her blog. I am taking the Flea Market collection by Lori Holt. It is made up of bigger prints. Last year I used Vintage Happy, which is smaller prints. So because this is bigger, I'm gonna do the block. So I did block 1. This pattern is completely free on Sherry's site. And this year she's doing instructions for a 6-inch block and a 12-inch block. And what I did is I used one of the multi-prints, put it here. I am going to be using this brown in every block as an accent, because each time I do someone's quilt, I do try to figure out how to make it my own. And I'm doing the 12-inch blocks in Flea Market. When I made this, you can see that they're all 4 the same. So all 4 the same. I did a strip. All of these fabrics, I did a strip all the way down and then subcut them into 4. So that is a way that you could save time here, is make 6 strips and then subcut it to save time. So I hope you join Sherry with that. She will be releasing her patterns on the 7th of each month, and she will have a free video every month with her tips. And it was really fun making this one, very easy. And I did use triangle paper. I used H300 for the 3-inch. These are 3-inch finished. So I did use triangle paper here, strip piece this, and I did fussy cut this with a Creative Grits ruler. What I tried to do is I tried to get a couple of motifs. When I put the ruler down, I wasn't able to get like just one big motif in the center, so I kind of just took the fabric, moved my ruler around until I found something that had at least 2 of the prints that I thought would look good. And again, I'm doing 12-inch, and I'm going to use this same brown in all of the blocks for an accent. So that is another sew along. And then our last sew along for today is right here, sorry, is this one. And then we will be done for today because we have done a lot already. This sew along is sponsored by Joanna Figueroa of Fig Tree Quilts. This is the quilt kit. You can purchase it at Fat Quarter Shop. And there are 12 blocks. Everything you need is in this kit. If you don't want to buy the kit and use this fabric, you can buy the booklet, which we have in stock. And it's a full color, well, yeah, it's got color instructions. On the back, she does also have some information. Oh, look at that beautiful picture. of if you wanted to do it in a Christmas colorway using some of her reds, greens, and taupes. So that just is like an inspiration. So you can do it in any colorway you would like. Joanna is going to have videos on this. You do use a paid pattern though. I'm going to show you kind of what I did. Oh, and I have one other thing to say. So I'm going to make mine like her sample. So we actually got the quilt from her to photograph for the site, and I had someone take a photo for me. And I'm just making it exactly like her quilt. On this, I chain pieced. Okay, so I chain pieced these together, cut them apart, and that gave me these two. And then this one is just a rectangle. So I kind of did a little chain piece where I chopped that off.
Wait, chain piece or strip piece?
It's the same.
Oh, okay.
So like that would be chain, but it is a strip. It is strips. So it's a strip, but I did chain piece it. So both. Both.
Okay.
The traditional way to sew this, as I drop fabric, is this way. Hold on, I dropped the piece. So this is the traditional way that you would piece it, and you can pay attention to the direction of the fabric, or you can do it any way you like. You don't have to worry about the direction, and like I said, just lay it out, see what you like. But to save time, I did do 3 strips and then trimmed it down to make these pieces, just to save time. And these have little cornerstones, and this is a Bella Solid. And so that is block 1. So next week I will show you block 2. You're going to be so proud of me because I did do the applique. It took me forever. I did it machine applique. I'm going to talk you through what I did, but I am going to preface it that I am not an appliquer, so you should watch what Joanna does and follow Joanna's instructions if you want it to look good, because I don't trust myself. And so I am super proud that I did that. And then this block, I couldn't bring myself to do it. There's no way. We have wonderful videos that Tula Pink did on English paper piecing, but Miss Kimberly Jolly has about 0 patience, ever, and I couldn't do it. So I did sub this block with something free from Sewcialites, and when we get to week 4, I will show you. So if you're scared of this, you could always put 9 3-inch Sewcialites blocks with the sashing, and you're going to get one of these 11-inch blocks. So these are 3.5-inch unfinished. So if you want to do this one different or this one, you can just sub in Sewcialites blocks right there. And that's why we do free things, so that you can sub things. But I'm very excited about this, and this quilt will be going in my bedroom. I'm very excited. I think block 1 looks great. Let me see, show you again. I love these colors. And I mean, I did make the directional fabric. Even this one go the same way. Yeah, yeah. So that's what I have today. I'm happy to answer any questions, but that is all we have for today, because that is 2 hours of joy and love and positivity and go in the right direction in 2021 and sharing friends and doing better for everyone. And I'm happy to answer any questions though.
This was a question about swirling stars from Santa Almodovar. When does the sew along start?
Now. And the free pattern is already online. You would just go to fatquartershop.com, search 2021 swirly stars, and you can just click a button to download it for free. And I just encourage you to use scraps that you have left over.
All right. And is there a sign up for the sew along for Swirling Stars and Quilting Life and the Stitchery Sampler?
No, you just use the hashtags. So Lilly can show you the hashtags that we have.
Yes, let's see.
And you would just do that on Instagram, Facebook. So Stitchery Sampler, that is the hashtag that Fig Tree has. And you can go to her blog. You just could type Fig Tree Quilts blog. All the information will be there because she's the designer. And her YouTube.
Yeah. I don't have one for Sherry's right now.
Yeah, we don't have Sherry's, but for Sherry's, just go to a Quilting Life blog. You can just type that. It'll come right up, and I'm sure she has the hashtag there, too.
Yes. And Swirling Stars is 2021 Swirling Star Quilt.
Yeah. And if you want, if you don't know how to do that, we could do a segment next week where Lilly talks through how to do a hashtag. Yeah. I don't use social media. I don't use it. I'm hardly ever on Instagram, maybe one time a month. The other day, I'll tell you this funny story. I was in the car with Emma, and I was like, Emma, I went to your Instagram, and there was only 3 photos. You deleted everything else. You deleted your entire history. She goes, yeah, I did that like 3 months ago. You just noticed. I was like, oh, sorry. Yeah. Because I know you're supposed to monitor your kids' social media, but I mean, I have people that actually monitor her social media and then tell me what she does because I don't really use social media, so... I have an aunt that she is very hip and into that. So I'm just like, oh, if she does something, just text me. And my other kids don't have social media yet. So, yeah. They don't even have phones. They're 11. They don't have phones.
Pokey Little Pineapple had said, we need an after Fat Quarter Shop live stream group to debrief.
Oh, my gosh.
From the chat.
I know. I did 4 live streams this week.
Ooh.
I'm so excited. But now I'm going to go starch. I am so excited to go starch. I was trying to... My goal today was actually to wake up early enough to starch some so that before I left, so that it could dry while I was doing the live stream. But then I was like, oh, I just didn't trust myself to not stop starching. So I thought, well, I'll just do it when I get home.
And then I see a lot of people trying to connect to each other here in the chat, like for best friends, or as Pokey Little Pineapple said, a group to kind of talk about what happened during live stream today if you want to chat about things you saw and all the sew-alongs. We do have a Facebook group, Kimberly Stitch Squad. Yeah. Where you can start that kind of conversation if you are on Facebook.
Yeah, and Kimberly Stitch Squad is a Facebook group. It's all about positivity. There's no negativity. If we see any negativity, we will just delete. Because I'm not all about that. Yeah. And so it can be, we created that space so that on Facebook you have somewhere to go where you're going to see positive stuff. And it's just about creating. You can show cross stitch, you can show crochet. You know, we ask you to not mention other shops just because it is monitored by my employees that I do pay. So, you know, I don't want to be like paying for promotion for another site or something like that, but it's all about positivity. And so if you're looking for a safe place to go, that's what we try to create.
Yeah. Sally Merrill said, Kimberly, how many quilts will you be making in 2021?
I think it's going to be 30. So I have counted it up, and I think it's going to be at least 30. This last year I did 19. And that's why, because I'm going to be doing more, that's why I decided to only use half of the half square triangle, because I did the calculations and thought, oh, there's no way I'm not going to, you know, and I could make a second quilt to auction off for charity, but I'm already auctioning off a lot of stuff this year, and I honestly just don't have the time to do like another one. And I think it's going to be so unique to have a quilt that only has one fabric in it. And if I did a second quilt, I would mix up the blocks, and then my quilt wouldn't have just one of each fabric. And since I'm OCD, that is important that I do have one quilt that is only once used.
Okay, and great comment from Erica Gregorius. I just want to say how much I love the inclusiveness that Fat Quarter Shop promotes. I love that you support worthy organizations with your generous donations. This is why I continue to be a loyal Fat Quarter Shop shopper.
Thank you. And we do other charity things. Like for Christmas, our company, we collected 1,000, was it 1,000? Pounds. I think it was 1,000 pounds of food to donate to Hayes County Food Bank. And Kevin and I, on behalf of Fat Quarter Shop, donated $2,500. So, you know, the charity that you see here is not all the charity that we do. We try to spread the love between all the charities. And, you know, I'm just proud that we do stuff like that here. And we didn't even tell our employees we gave $2,500. Like, that's the first time Lilly probably even knew.
Know that. I was like, oh.
I mean, I'm not a person that feels like I have to tell everybody what I do. To feel good about something. You know, if you have to tell someone, oh my gosh, I gave $100 to a charity, you're not doing it the right way. When you can give to a charity and sleep at night and know that you did something good and know that you can tell your children, hey, on behalf of the work that we do at Fat Quarter Shop and go to work every day and do, we're able to use that money to give $2,500. Of course, I've told my children, but nobody here, I mean, I don't send an email and say, oh, you know, I don't have to brag about what I do. I do it from the goodness of my heart and Kevin's heart, and I try to be the best person I can be every day, and sometimes I'm not. 2 days ago, I wasn't the best person I could be. I got really frustrated and got really upset about something and had to walk away. I'm not a perfect person, but I do try to do my very best every day, no matter what. Sorry, I don't know why I went there, but I just did.
Oh, that was good. From Life as a Mom, and a few other people have been asking as well, did you use a planner to organize your quilting at home?
Yeah, so do you want to see?
Yes,
I can show you. So this is how I have my planner set up. Okay, let's zoom way in and then we'll go from the front. Okay, there we go. So I actually don't ever use this, and this planner is not the one that I use for personal. I have a personal planner. This is the one that I use for work. And we've already passed, okay, these are my goals. So I need to have these items completed by the end of January. This is cross stitch and this is quilting. And the reason you don't, like for example, I had to write down all blocks for Stitchery Sampler, which is here. Well, I've done all of them, so I checked that off. Now I need to start all my finishing because I do a lot of these live stream things ahead of time. But I haven't finished any of these. And you're going to see more cross stitch than quilting because these quilts won't be done for months and months. Now this week I didn't plan anything because that was, you know, I wasn't here that week. I was sewing. So I'm going to put this paper clip. And these are all my quilting plans that we went over on Monday's video. This was to keep me in order. All of these I didn't show today, but I will be showing throughout the month. These are as I sew my notes so that I can come back on camera and not forget that I pressed open or I'm using 12-inch blocks or flea market collection. These are all things that I need to do on videos. So as I stitch them, I check them off. And this is a work meeting that I had yesterday with a sales rep. And after the meeting, I check it off. So next week, these are the things that I need to have done for cross stitch live stream. As I'm done, I check them off. This is what I need to have done for Friday's live stream. As I'm done, I check them off. And these are my notes for next week's live stream. So you can see every week is planned, but this is only my work. My personal planner that has my kids' stuff is somewhere else, and I do something else with it, but I have to keep them separate. And like you can see in February, if you go to February, this is what I need to have done in February. There's no quilts that I can have done, but when you go, let me find one where I start getting into the quilts. Right here, you're going to start seeing, okay, I'm going to start finishing quilts over in April because of all these months ahead build up to where I should be done, if that makes sense. And let's see. Yeah, so this is so I have everything for cross stitch quilting in this book for the entire year through what we have planned. Now we do have a Christmas in July event scheduled and a Halloween event scheduled, and because they're not final, they're not in here yet. But once the pattern is done, I will add them. And I do try to stay very organized because if I don't, I'm very organized to get stuff done, but I will tell you I'm very unorganized when I'm done. Because I forget what I've done and where I put it. The other day, Ashley and I were looking for like an hour for blocks that I lost, and they were here, and I had given them to somebody and totally forgot. So I'm super organized up to a point, and then I lose it. You know, and everybody's mind works different, so some people are more organized after, that kind of thing.
All right. From Catherine Jolson, if we wanted to donate a quilt for Make-A-Wish, can we?
We have said no to that just because we think it would become too much to have too many quilts going on. We do auction my quilt. We do auction Pat Sloan's quilt, and we do auction Priscilla Blaine's cross stitch. And even we might even donate my cross stitch this year. I'm not sure, but we keep it small because if everybody wanted to donate, it would become, too much. And we're just trying to raise the money, and we want to get to 100,000. And without us adding those quilts, I know we wouldn't get there.
Also earlier, I misspoke. I said Serena Williams as a character from Gossip Girl. Serena Williams is a tennis player. Serena Vander Woodson is the character from Gossip Girl.
Serena Williams, there's a really good documentary about her. If y'all want to know, she was actually, her and her sister were raised in Compton. I don't know if y'all know that. Her dad, do you not know the story?
I don't know the story, no.
Her dad is a beast. He went to the city council of Compton in the 90s. He had a councilwoman who is still friends with him to this day build tennis courts just for those two children. He took them there every day. Gang violence, everything going around. Those girls, and you know why he did it when you watch the documentary? Because he wanted them to be in a spot where they had to fight for what they wanted. Because sometimes when you become successful, it's because you had to fight for what you wanted. And it wasn't all given to you. But that documentary is good, and he is intense. Like, he pushed those girls, but you know what? They worked for what they have, and they came. But you should watch it, how he had that tennis court built. And he said at first they used to come and make fun of the girls and say, oh, what are y'all doing, blah, blah, blah. Well, when they got good, everyone would come and say, oh, go girls. And they had like names for Serena and, Vanessa? Serena and I think it's Vanessa.
I think it is, yeah.
But so they would come, and it shows the story about how he started it, how people made fun of him, how he did it anyway, and to this success. But he wasn't from Compton. He moved to Compton specifically to get them in a position to have to fight. But you would have to watch the documentary and all the things about it. It's very inspiring, though.
What did you watch it on? What platform?
I think Netflix.
Okay.
And it's also there's a documentary on it, but there's also another segment that I just watched that is part of, it's a different documentary, but they're a subset within that documentary, and I can't remember the name of it, but that was on Netflix. So I actually watched two different things and combined those.
Venus Williams.
Venus, yes.
Thank you, everyone.
Sorry.
No, you're good. Okay. Gwen Smith asking, any upcoming tutorials on the Flying Geese foundation paper?
Yes, we haven't filmed them yet. I'm going to talk about those more next week, just because we've already spent 2.5 hours or 2 hours, 15 minutes, but I will. And we're going to do some videos on those. Jocelyn will be designing lots of quilts with those. Jocelyn is actually the one who did all of the work on all of these papers. Every foundation paper that Jocelyn that you just met did all of that. And so we took off, well, we didn't take off 2 weeks, but I spent 2 weeks just working on live streams for this year. And we're going to regroup next week and work on all that for, yeah. But yes, there will be videos, and not only will there be videos and tutorials, there will be quilts that Jocelyn designs where she mixes the paper just like she did with the Best Friends Quilt Along. Jocelyn designed that. Lori came up with the idea, and Jocelyn, sent a couple of designs to Lori, and then Lori told her which direction she wanted her to go.
Right. And from Beverly Browning, do you use shirtings in a quilt the same way as regular quilting cotton?
I do. But most shirtings that we sell they're called shirtings. Okay, they're called shirtings because of the style. In real life, they're the same printing as anything else. So okay. If there was a shirting from a long, long time ago that's a real shirting, I would just need to make sure it was thick enough. But the shirtings that you see sold in a quilt shop nowadays, they're just called that for the look, not the texture. They're not really shirtings.
Okay. All right. And new YouTube member, Nancy Carter. Welcome, Nancy.
Thank you.
And we had a super chat from Maisie D for $1.99. Thank you, Maisie.
Thank you.
And they put a little sticker that says vibes. Good vibes.
Oh,
I
good
think.
vibes. Yes.
And I
I'm gonna
almost,
do a cross stitch that says that or something.
yes. I almost said new YouTube member Venus William, but it was Ashley telling me that her name was Venus William. So
Oh.
she is not a new YouTube member, but her name was in there.
Sorry, I don't know how I forgot that or messed that up, but yeah. So I just want you guys to focus on positivity. Have a great 2021. We're going to be doing lots of things here, lots of sew-alongs, a lot, and we're going to be working with more designers like Lisa Bonjean, Sherry McConnell, Fig Tree, so that we're not just doing our stuff, we're incorporating other people's stuff. And we look forward to a really bright 2021, and I hope you guys have a great weekend.